Hello everybody.
Hi.
And welcome back, or welcome to
Gals on the Pit Wall.
I'm Jasmine.
I'm Catherine.
And welcome to your Suzuka rundown.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say brief Suzuka rundown because we are based in Scotland and this race for us was at 6 o'clock in the morning.
It was.
To be honest with you, I don't have a brain. It's now 8:44 when we are recording this.
It's been a long day.
I don't have any notes.
I'm really sick as well. That's
I'm
my
also
excuse.
very sick.
It's not been our week.
If you're watching the podcast, I apologise. I'm in an hoodie. It's just one of those
That's
weeks.
the vibes.
Yeah.
I'm going to admit, we're slacking to the point of I haven't even watched pre-practice, which I'm quite annoyed that I didn't watch it. But this is just like a lot of excuses. This is the first week for me back at uni, and I was trying to manage my life, and I also am very ill, so the thought of having to wake up in the middle of the night to watch free practice was not happening.
No, I haven't watched free practice. I didn't watch quali, and I only watched half the race.
Well, I've seen qualifying, although it's probably the most uneventful qualifying.
No, I did watch the highlights, but I didn't wake up to watch quali.
It was pretty uneventful, and I woke up, I've tapped the microphone, and I woke up lap 12 of the race, I think. Set my alarm, obviously woke up, turned it off, not realised.
Yep.
Woke up, looked at the time, shot up out of bed, was like, fuck! Because I have so much fear after Australia that if I sleep in, that Charles will have crashed while I've been asleep, but he hadn't, luckily. But it was, after the last couple of races, this was very uneventful, really.
Yeah, it was a bit of a dry one. Well, aside from Checo.
That man.
He was playing dodgems today.
But there's also some fun pre-race bits and pieces. My highlight of the weekend before it kicked off was actually during the week last week when they were setting up the garages and above the, you know how they put those little faces above the garages
and their names, numbers.
So above the Ferrari garage they put up Carlos, and who did they put up next to Carlos but another Carlos?
2 Carlos Sainz.
But my question was, why did they have stupid, shut up, don't disturb. My question is, why did they have 2 Carloses in the first place of the mirrored image?
Actually, you're right.
Why? Because they know what side of the garage he's on, so it was very funny. I was like, wow.
That was planned.
That's because he's the only person operating in that team, doing anything of worth.
Yep.
That really tickled me. And then
it's good.
Seb's buzzing corner.
Buzzing corner. It's so cute. So Sebastian Vettel, he has come back to Suzuka this year to build B hotels on turn 2, which is now called B Buzzing Corner. So it's got bee hotels everywhere, and he made all of the drivers paint a hotel for the bees.
Because it's part of his Save the Bees initiative. He wants to encourage biodiversity and raise awareness for it. So it's very cute, actually. It was very nice to see his wee face. His favourite circuit.
And if you would like to support that cause, go over to Sebastian Vettel's shop because he is selling limited Suzuka t-shirts that all of the proceeds go to the bees.
And all the drivers got involved except Haas.
They sent
the reserve drivers. I was quite panicked. I saw the picture of them all originally, and there was no Carlos in the picture. And I'm thinking, where is this man? Why is he not supporting the bees? And then I saw a later picture. He was late.
Yeah,
so
he was running down the track.
Running across.
So funny.
So he made it, and he was there, and they all painted they painted little plaques things.
Yeah, to pop on the hives.
Yeah, and they painted the roofs of them as well, and it was very sweet. There's a video of them all getting on the minibus to go round to Buzzing Corner.
Yeah.
It's like a teacher, Seb stood up explaining it all to them. It's like a teacher explaining to his kids on a school trip.
But I love that Seb's like that.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And him and Mick, they were there together.
They were reunited.
The boys. So that was some wholesome fun.
Very
this
wholesome.
Weekend. That's probably the highlight of the weekend, to be honest.
Yeah. Pretty much.
That's where it kind of peaked there.
Yeah, it's gone drastically downhill.
And yeah, I didn't see a single free practice. I may have taken notes because I was gonna watch them on replay, but I didn't have time. No, I didn't. No, I've only got Q1.
Never mind.
So, I know that Pierre crashed in one of the free practices.
Oh yeah.
That's all I can tell you.
Same.
It happened.
I can't tell you why.
And the Red Bulls were running different floors. If I had watched free practice, I would have been able to tell you why or what was happening. But alas, I didn't. So I was slacking this week. I will be back on form for Qatar.
I can't promise I will be, but I'll try my best.
Yeah.
Because it's at a normal time.
Yeah.
I think I'll be back on it.
We'll be late on the podcast because the race is at 6 p.m.
But I love that.
Yeah.
Because you can get cosy and watch it.
My problem with the races being as early as they are is A, waking up, but B, there's no hype because you're literally waking up tired as fuck and then you've just got to like start watching it.
And my issue today was that I didn't get out of bed.
Yeah, neither did I.
I watched it in bed, which meant I then did fall asleep halfway through the race.
Yeah. You didn't miss much.
No.
It was like, okay, that happened.
Yeah.
I mean, congratulations to Red Bull for the Constructors' Championship. That was won this weekend.
Yeah.
Well deserved. Not much else to say.
No.
But yeah, well done. Good work.
Yeah.
Credit where credit is due. You've smashed it.
They have. They've done an amazing job this year. They've clearly figured something out that the rest of the grid have not.
Miles ahead of the competition. So yeah. I feel like that sounded really insincere, but I mean it. Well done.
For
Good
sure.
job. I'm just not enthusiastic about it.
Yeah.
But like, well done. And I, respect the hustle. So, Q1. I've just written that someone smashed into the final corner at turn
Logan.
18. Must have been Logan. We can only assume.
It was Logan and they red flagged it. I did watch the highlights, I just didn't watch quali on time.
So, and he crashed with his hands on the steering wheel as well.
Did he?
So that's not good. We could have had, at least it would have put him out of his misery.
For sure.
He is definitely Latifi 2.0.
Don't do my man Latifi like that. Leave Nutella boy alone.
Nutella boy, Nutella king.
I love him.
Delicious. Oh, and Ferrari hadn't set a time yet, so I was shouting myself. It literally says shouting myself. A bit nervous.
Accurate notes.
They were just they weren't really on the attack this weekend because they obviously knew that it wasn't to be.
For sure.
But that's fine.
To be buzzing corner.
And then I wrote about, so basically, as time goes on, it's looking less and less likely we will be seeing Logan next season.
For sure.
If he is back next season, I will eat a sock.
I'll also eat a sock.
Sure. And they've not announced so on the F1 Instagram page, kind of over the last few months, they've had their picture of all the drivers, and it was the empty spaces, and they've updated it as contract extensions have been announced. The only empty space on it now is Logan.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the clock going, it's getting a bit late now.
It is ticking on.
So, but the question is Logan costing them more money than it would, is it cheaper for them to keep Logan or to pay for another driver? Because I think all their options are going to be quite expensive. I don't think Liam's going to go for cheap.
No, I don't think so. But then we have to think, how much money is Logan bringing in for the team? Because he's the only American driver on the grid. America is trying to boom into F1 at the moment. So I reckon he has quite a lot of financial backing.
But Haas is obviously an American team.
Yeah.
And they've got a lot of massive American sponsors, they've got Chipotle, Pan Angels. Yeah. They've got a lot.
But they don't have a lot of money.
True.
As a team, they don't.
So I guess it depends who Williams' other options are. And then now that we're saying that, probably should have said Yuki and Daniel have extended with AlphaTauri for the end of 2024.
Woo!
So that's that solved, because it was a big question of who's going where. I'm not sure I agree with their choice.
Well, that's what I had predicted it to be, was that it was going to stick.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, because it makes sense, and Daniel didn't really get a chance to do anything.
Yeah.
But I am surprised a little bit, just because I just think it's such a wasted opportunity with Liam.
Liam's still young though, there's so much time.
It's this bloody Red Bull AlphaTauri musical chairs.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see him on the grid, and I think obviously there's that spot Williams, and that's the most logical choice. And unfortunately your dreams have been crushed, because Toto has apparently been trying to persuade Williams to take Mick, and they don't want him.
No, I know, Mick's looking like he's going to the McLaren, a different McLaren racing.
Mm-hmm.
Gutted.
Was it not Alpine?
Oh, maybe it was Alpine.
It was an
No, you're
Alpine
right. I'm
something, I
so tired today.
Yeah, don't take anything we say as facts, actually, today. We're losing the plot.
Literally been up since 5:30.
So, yeah.
Minus my little midway through the race sleep.
every race, I get less and less confident in Logan's abilities.
Yeah.
And the fact, I
And
can't
it's like
see...
silly mistakes that he's making.
If they keep him for another season, I think they're making a severe mistake. I don't see him improving. Because before, like, early on in the season, it was like, okay, maybe he just needs a bit of time to get used to it. Rookie season, to be expected.
Yeah.
But especially when you compare him to, well, Liam now.
Yeah.
And Oscar. Obviously, Oscar's been exceptional, but it's not looking too good.
Liam came in and got points pretty much straight away.
Yeah.
Logan still has no points.
Oscar has got, well, we'll talk about it later, but he's got a podium in his rookie season on a track he'd never driven before. He'd never raced it before in his life.
Unreal.
So Logan, he needs to go.
He does.
Sorry, Logan Sarge.
Which is a shame, but
you do keep
it's a cruel business, F1.
I sometimes participate in the F1 Play It app, you know, when you do predictions.
Yeah.
It's always, who do you think's going to crash first? And I always put Logan. Him and Lance Stroll are always my two bets for crashes.
Yeah.
And then... Oh, and then there's the minimum lap time again.
Oh, yeah.
And so Joe, Valtteri and Charles were all below that. But it never became of anything.
Traffic.
It was going to get invested after the session, but no further action. So
that's good.
Obviously decided that was okay. And Liam was doing really well in qualifying.
I'm happy for him.
Yeah, he was flying. Oh, and yeah, so Lance had his third consecutive Q1 elimination as well. Jazz is dying. But Aston Martin need to do something. It wasn't a good weekend for Aston anyway. Like, it was just a bit subpar. But Lance was out again, but he was out third consecutive Q1 elimination.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be happening.
No. And he's an experienced driver. Like, Lance is a good driver.
Yeah.
We've seen him do really good drives before. What's going on right now? I feel like his heart's not in it anymore.
Yeah. We talked about it last week, I think, but it's just... Yeah. It's quite depressing. It must be depressing for him, because I feel depressed every time he fucks it. And Fernando is the only driver to make every Q3 race appearance this season. Q3 race appearance? Oh my god. Fernando's the only driver to make an appearance in every Q3 this season.
I'm happy for him.
Yeah. And they just have another new track for OP. Q2. Oh yeah. So Oscar was coming out. He'd done some laps, and then he was put on fresh tyres, and he was literally coming out. It was just before the white line at the pit exit. You see the McLaren mechanics, and they're like, "Stop!" Something. What the fuck's going on here? Like, they're retiring the car, but they'd actually just decided that his lap time was good enough that they were happy to stick him in the garage and wait for Q3.
God, way to give everyone the fear.
Yeah, but I honestly, the panic I felt in my heart, but it worked out for them. The gap in Q2, the end of Q2, the gap from Liam in P11 to Fernando in P10 was 43 milliseconds.
Wow.
And Fernando was on fresh tyres and Liam was unused. I think that's very noteworthy.
Very telling.
Give this man a seat. What they should actually do is replace Lance Stroll at Aston Martin and put Liam there. But I don't know what's wrong with that car. Everything.
Bit of everything.
Like, it's not that they've gotten worse, it's that they've not improved and everyone else has.
Yeah.
Like, they were fine at the start of the season, and they did bring upgrades halfway through, but that made the car worse, so they got rid of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
never mind.
Shocking season. What was looking like a really, really exciting season for them?
Yeah, no, because it started off so promising.
Tanked. And now...
never mind.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
No.
And Checo was slower on fresh tyres than Max was on used. Surprising? No. But
no. Not at all.
And Max's lap, it was stunning in Q2. It was a phenomenal lap.
Was that the full fastest in every sector?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he only got better in Q3. It was like it's so impressive that you couldn't fault him.
He's a very talented man.
And at Suzuka, so 50% of the races there have been won from pole, and only three winners have won from below the front row.
Wow.
Which is Kimi, Fernando, and Valtteri.
Ooh.
I love a little fact like that.
Me too. Love a wee stat.
I literally just have Max's lap absolutely phenomenal.
Yep.
And then Q3, Oscar out-qualifies Lando.
Yes, he got his good spot this week.
So that was exciting. That was the highlight of it, but it wasn't. The gap between Oscar and P2 at the end of qualifying and Max was like half a second. It was a lot. It was more than it should have been. Max took Singapore personally and went, fuck you.
Yeah. He just went straight on for it.
Yeah. And Oscar and I had Oscar and I had the upgrades that Lando had in Singapore.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so now the cars are back to being even.
Yeah, so that's nice. And also when Oscar did his interview after qualifying, the cheer from the crowd, so loud.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good.
He was so relaxed about it.
I think everybody's buzzing for him because he's come in fresh, new, and he's just killing it.
With a contract extension this weekend.
Yes, that's so true.
Until 2026 with McLaren. Exciting times for Oscar. Hope it works out for him.
I don't think it will, but I think this was a mistake for him. I think this was a massive mistake for his career, but...
And yeah, Max's lap in Q3, so he did a really fast lap, and then at the end, in his final lap, then went fastest in every sector again. And it was like, watching it from the driver POV, it was literally perfect. I can't remember what the time was, but it was just... Watching, you know how you can see the throttle barely lifting off the throttle the entire lap.
Unreal.
Like, wow. Yeah, it was good. It was, good to watch Max. But uneventful, the rest of it.
Yeah.
Like, there just wasn't even a battle. There was no contention there.
Never mind.
In this first 12 laps.
Carnage.
Yeah. All I know is that... So Logan started from the pit lane.
Yes.
With a 10-second penalty on top of that, because essentially after his smash in qualifying, they had to basically build a third car.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it was described. The entire thing was different. And I should have said about when he crashed in qualifying and it cut to his garage and the mechanics and stuff, it just was like, they look so fed up.
Yeah, they're not happy down there.
I can't see that anyone at Williams wants him to stay.
No. Because it's a lot of work for the engineers because they have to stay overnight in the garage to build this new car for him to wreck.
And then it's, he's going to wreck again.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of pressure on Alex Albon's shoulders as well, because he knows he's the only one performing in that car.
Yeah, he's carrying the whole team.
So it's down to him to get the points. Then when he doesn't perform, it's fucked for the whole team.
For sure.
I saw the start. I went back and watched the start.
Yeah, the start, it was okay.
What a start from Lando.
Yeah, Lando had a great start and everybody made it past turn 1.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a skirmish.
Maybe with Joe.
Yeah, I was listening to Christian Horner talk about it, so I was very confused.
God.
But Lando managed to get in front of Oscar. And almost got in front of Max.
Yeah,
Not that he would have stayed
really
in front of
close.
Max, but it was a great start. And then I have... So literally lap 12, the first lap I was alive and conscious for.
Yep.
Checo crashes with K-Meg. As soon as I'm watching it,
Yeah.
spins him, K-Meg's facing the wrong way, but managed to get himself back round. But at that point, as I've learned in hindsight, Checo had already had his front wing replaced.
Yeah.
So he was then onto his second front wing.
Because he'd hit someone else earlier on.
Valtteri, I think. Who took Valtteri out?
Must have been...
Because when I woke up, there was no Valtteri. I was like, shit, he's gone.
Yeah. So it must have been Checo taking out Valtteri.
Checo's playing bumper cars this weekend.
It was insane.
Reckless.
It was so reckless. And, it cannot be the car.
No. Something's obviously on his mind.
Yes.
And lucky for Oscar, after Checo went into K-Meg, they had a virtual safety car.
They did.
But it got called as Oscar was going into the pit.
Yeah, so he got a completely free pit stop.
And he was the only one to pit as well under
Yeah.
that. So, wonderful. Because it was only out for one lap.
Yeah.
And then it went, because K-Meg got himself back round. Pro driving from Kevin. Lando lost 10 seconds though behind Checo when the virtual safety car was out.
Right.
Because if you don't know, you can't overtake when there's a safety car unless the car in front of you is going slow due to damage.
Yeah.
So Lando kind of had to wait and then decided that he didn't know if Checo had damage or not, but he was like, I need to overtake him, losing too much time.
Yeah.
Obviously deemed that the more time he spent behind Checo, the penalty wouldn't affect him anyway, it'd still be worse. So he overtook him, but obviously it was fine because he then found out Checo did have damage.
Yeah.
And then lap 15, Checo's told to retire.
Yeah.
Because it was fucked.
Yeah, because he had gone through 2 front wings already. So they put him in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
He's out for for 7 laps, and then they bring him back
because he was given a penalty for his collision with Kevin, and Red Bull deemed that it was very likely. This isn't like set in stone that this happens, but they deemed it was quite likely that penalty would have then had to carry over to Qatar. So this was really smart.
So they didn't want that.
They sent Checo back out to do the lap, serve the penalty, and then put it back in again. So they didn't have to risk carrying that penalty over.
Do you know what? The one thing no one can fault Red Bull on is their strategy.
Mm-hmm. Hannah Schmidt, she's on it.
She is. Well, I don't know what she was on last weekend though.
They knew it was going to be a bad weekend though.
Yeah. But it's just like that's immense thinking that far ahead.
Oh, even in the commentary box they were stunned by this.
Yeah.
They started looking up, oh shit, genius. So that was very clever.
Very, very clever.
Yeah. So that was actually the most exciting thing to happen in the race, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, by this time I've gone to sleep because I went to sleep as they retired Checo.
Yeah. Well, you missed a bit of fun in the Mercedes camp.
Yeah.
So Toto was not there this weekend.
No?
No, I think he was. I just sort of glanced at this. I think he might have been having a knee surgery. But don't quote me on
I
this.
heard about that last week.
So he was missing out this weekend, and it all went to shit for Mercedes.
Whoops.
So George was in front of Lewis because Lewis had contact at the start, I think. So he'd lost some places at the start.
Right.
And so they were battling each other, and George goes in the radio saying, "Who do we want to fight here? Each other." George is so dramatic. They're both dramatic, but fucking hell, he's dramatic.
He's so dramatic.
And they were like, basically telling George, you need to let Lewis in front of you because Lewis is going so much quicker.
Yeah.
Hang on. I was getting bunged up there. But they had quite a few disagreements. I sensed the tension probably after last weekend as well.
Yeah, for sure. Well, they were racing at the start as well, those two.
But I don't like George is really good, right? And I don't want people to think that I don't think he's good because I think he is. But you have to be in the mindset of that you're the best.
Yeah.
But he can't keep trying to argue in the actual race at the time that he's quicker than Lewis, or it's better for him to be in front when the entire team's saying no, you need to swap positions. Yeah. You are slower.
Yeah.
And also interestingly, so this race most teams were looking at a 3-stop.
Okay.
George Russell did a 1-stop. Which almost worked, but it didn't.
Yeah.
He had hards on for the last stint, tried to carry them through, but he was the only one to do that, and I think he could have come 5th.
Right.
But he was down to 7th.
Yeah.
Not massive error.
No, but you can understand why he's down there if he was on the old.
I mean, the top 7 weren't competing with anyone else. Everyone else was so far behind them it didn't matter at that point.
Which, this is why I decided to go back to sleep, because when I went to sleep, Max was already like 10 seconds ahead. Yeah,
the gap between everyone, the whole race, no sign of Charles, because he was 4th the entire time.
Yeah.
No one tried to take it from him. It was just their very good pit stops. It was all like...
Yeah, their pit stops were good this time round.
But yeah, it was just... The only thing they messed up is that Lewis managed to get the undercut on Carlos.
Yeah. Never mind.
Oh well. He lost 1 place. Woo.
Yeah, we knew this race wasn't going to be good for us.
Oh well. It was fine. It could be worse.
Yeah, no, it did.
And then lap 21, Fernando is struggling with a hard tyre.
Yeah.
He says he's been thrown to the lions. He's unhappy because he thinks they pitted him too early. And he was saying he had no attack and no defence. Not Fernando's race. I'm dying. Oh my god. And then that same lap, Lance Stroll goes out. Do I know what happened to him?
No.
And then lap 26, it just cuts to Logan Sargent out the car. Do I know what happened to him? No.
Not a clue.
I don't know what crack the broadcast was on as well. Obviously there wasn't much going on, so they were a bit relaxed, but just so much shit happened that they just, like, no one in Compton said anything about Logan being out.
Oh, right.
And we saw 2 seconds of him out of the car in the garage already.
Ah.
So, I don't know what happened.
Never mind.
They're so sick of him being out, they're like, I don't know.
Yeah, no one even is reporting it anymore.
And then lap 27, McLaren, so Oscar was out in front at this point, and they told the boys to swap.
Oh.
But Lando was going much faster. So.
Right, okay, so it was the right thing to do.
And then Albon retires this lap.
Oh, yeah.
Do I know what happened to him? No, I don't. Everyone was dropping left, right, and centre. There was 5 retirements this race.
5? Fair enough.
And I couldn't tell you what happened to any of them.
No. Except the ones that Checo punted out.
Yeah. Checo retired himself. Oh my god, the best meme though of this weekend was like it was the message of Red Bull just saying retire to Checo.
Yeah, that was
and the
hilarious.
captions people put on that. It's like, yeah, they mean it literally. Yeah, and then at that point they send Checo back into the race.
Yeah.
To serve his penalty. Very smart.
Very smart.
Oscar does, like, this is how boring it was. All I've got is lap 42, Oscar does a really nice overtake on George. Because by this point they'd all pitted again and George is, hanging on to these shitting tyres. Lap 49, George told to let Lewis ahead of him. George said leave it to the last lap, but they were like, no, that it's an instruction, not a question. Because basically what George was trying to say, so Carlos is right up their arse.
Okay.
So George was saying he should stay in front to give Lewis DRS to pull away, which is fair enough. But George had nothing left in his tyres by this point. It's lap 49 and it's a 52 lap race. So he had nothing left in his tyres, so they swapped them and Lewis gave George DRS.
Oh, that's good.
But because George's tyres were fucked, because by the way the one stop was George's idea.
Obviously.
Just put that out there, because he's obviously thinking, nah, I'll get in front of Lewis here.
Yeah.
And so he ended up conceding the place to Carlos anyway, because Carlos had fresh tyres and George had nothing.
Great.
Max had the fastest lap. He was lapping 1 whole second quicker than any other drivers.
He did do a good job today.
Yeah, that's about it. That's like all my racing notes. Do you have a driver of the day this weekend from your limited watch? The commentator said it was Max for them, but I have my own thoughts and feelings.
Do you know what? I'll go for Oscar today because this is his highest qualifying position.
Yep. I voted for Oscar, but I wrote down both McLarens.
Yeah.
Because Lando did very, very well.
I'm happy for the McLarens at the moment.
Yeah, they deserve this. Mm-hmm. It's been a tough season, but they're on the up.
For now.
Yeah, they need to keep at it.
They won't, though. They won't. They do this all the time and then they tank again.
But Lando was talking about, so I think he finished 19 seconds or something behind Max. Like, it was a fair gap. But he lost 10 seconds behind Checo. He lost a couple seconds stuck behind Oscar at one point. So actually, if it wasn't for that, it would have been mildly closer.
That's true.
So there's a bit of hope there.
Yeah.
And Lando's been so close. That's his 5th podium.
I'm happy for Lando.
So I just the win needs to be happening soon.
Yeah.
This season would be ideal, but
yeah,
it's
not looking like
no. Yeah. Oh, the kissable trophy, that was a thing.
But I'm so glad I didn't get to see that happen.
It was shit.
Oh, never mind.
I was so excited for it, and Max kissed it, and it had the Dutch flag on it. And then Christian Horner kissed his and nothing happened, which kind of made me laugh.
That's hysterical.
Pranked. But basically the idea is that it knew how to scan the imprint of all their lips and then could produce their flag.
Huh.
Is that not really weird?
Very.
I don't like it.
No, that's like some AI stuff. I hate that.
I don't trust that.
Not at all.
Yeah, Oscar in his P3, despite having never raced that track. And he's so chill about it.
He always is, though. He's a humble guy.
He's like, it's not my best race. It's like, what do you mean?
It literally is your best race.
He's so good. He is so good.
He is. He's very good. He's a talented guy.
That made it worth waking up for. If that hadn't happened, I would have been like, why am I up right now?
Can't relate. I went back to sleep.
I went back to sleep after, but only because I was so cripplingly ill. I tried to get up.
I think that's what it is as well, because I'm really ill at the moment. Like, I just could not keep my eyes open this morning.
I think I went back to sleep at like 9, half 9, because I was like, my nose was running everywhere. Like,
yeah. It was one of those
graphic.
ones.
I put toilet paper up my nose and it literally soaked. That's how much snot was coming out of my body this morning.
Lovely.
So I was like, fuck it, I'm going back to sleep.
Yeah.
And slept until like 2 o'clock, so.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Well, guys, a short one for you today.
Just a quick question though. Do you think, so now Lewis is 33 points now behind Checo.
Yes.
In the championship. Do you think by the end of the season, Lewis Hamilton will catch up to Checo? I put this poll on our Instagram because I want to know what people were thinking, and it's very much in favour of yes, Lewis is going to catch Checo.
I think it's very possible.
And then within that, so this feeds into my theory, I do think it's looking more and more likely that Red Bull may drop Checo.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the only way that will happen is if Lewis catches up to him. They do actually have no reason to drop him other than if he causes them too much money in damages.
Yeah, which he has been at the moment.
But they must also know that there's obviously better people than him.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know if anyone wants to go there.
Yeah, because it's very cutthroat. Their true colours have been shown in the last few years, so...
You could see on the podium Christian staring at Lando.
I know, eyeing him up.
Come here.
God, literally. He's
that
so
man
creepy.
away from Lando.
Oh, God. Nonce.
Lando, don't go to Red Bull. Don't do it, right? Only do it if Max retires.
But then, at the same time, very smart career move to go to Red Bull.
But only if Max retires.
But he'd be on a Constructors' Championship at bare minimum if he went to Red Bull. Do you know what I mean?
But he would be told to be sat by Max the whole time.
Yeah.
And Lando deserves better
But
than
I
that.
think Max is leaving in the next couple of years anyway, so...
Yeah, we were saying earlier that there's going to be a whole chunk of people that are going to leave at once. Because I think Valtteri's close to retiring.
For sure.
Because obviously he's not doing anything in that Alfa Romeo. It's not like... He's not going to get anything better than that at this point.
Yeah.
He's got his side business. He's got wine, he's got gin, he's got a cafe, he's got cycling.
What more could he want?
He'd have a nice retirement. I think he's going to go. Lewis is going to try and outstay Max.
Do you think?
Yeah. Because I think in Lewis's head, if Max retires, then he's got another shot at championship.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So I think Lewis will try and outweigh Max.
Yeah.
Max will go in like the next couple of years.
I think so.
If he keeps winning everything.
I think he's getting bored.
Unless like next season it's closer again.
Yeah.
And he's got something to fight for. But if it's another season like this, I think he'll get bored.
I think so.
Fernando's got to go at some point.
He has to.
I don't want him to go.
No, I do.
But no.
But he's so old. Give someone else a chance.
But it's not like he's doing shit. He's doing well.
Yeah, but come on. There's so much fresh talent. Like we're
Fernando
saying.
to Red Bull.
Oh God, don't even joke. But like it's like we're saying with Liam Lawson. Like there would be a free seat for new talent to come in if the old talent took a step back.
I do think there's such a queue of fresh people that could be coming in, and it's being backlogged at the moment.
Yeah, and the thing is, Formula One is a young man's sport.
Yeah.
It's not a sport for people over the age of 35, really.
Lewis wants that 8th win, and I just don't know at this rate if it's coming for him.
Mhm.
Because I think if he is in a competitive car again, that like say can compete with Red Bull, you think that George is also in that competitive car. And I'm not saying George is better driver than Lewis, but I think that's a lot of competition.
Yeah. And George is a lot cockier than Lewis, so
and it
adds an element of danger.
And quite clearly George doesn't want to sit behind Lewis just because he's told to.
No.
Because Daddy Toto wasn't there.
Well, I'd hate to be a fly on the wall.
Yeah, things need reshuffled.
For sure.
Fernando to Red Bull. Oh, yeah. And then if Checo gets dropped from Red Bull, where's Checo going?
Home. He's going home.
Bless. I don't like that man, but like...
Yeah. I mean, he's worked hard and he is a good driver. He's just not really showing that at the moment.
Every time I start to like him a little bit and then I just think about it, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I rewatch his Wanna Drive to Survive and it's
back.
like, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Icky.
I don't think Daniel is going to go back to Red Bull.
I don't think so.
Because I don't think that he's even in their top 3 choices.
No, but the thing is,
but he's holding out for it.
Well, obviously he's holding out, but he said that he would be happy to end his career within the Red Bull family.
Uh-huh.
So he's pretty happy to go after AlphaTauri. He just wanted it to end not being kicked out of the seat.
I think he's kind of past his opportunity for a WDC.
And do you know what? That does break my heart because I am a big Danny Rick fan. And he's such a great personality and he is a great driver when he applies himself.
Yeah. He just thinks the grass is greener on the other side always. And that's ruined his chances a bit.
It has.
Since last weekend, there's been this whole discussion about, before it got announced that Yuki and Daniel had obviously extended till end of 2024, there was this whole discussion about who's going to be at AlphaTauri.
Yeah.
And I see why they've kept Daniel, because they want it to be its independent team in its own right, and he's got all the experience. But I just think not having Liam on the grid is such a mistake. And
but we don't know that he's not going to be on the grid. He could be in that Williams seat.
True. I would be disappointed if we weren't going to see him next season, to be honest.
Yeah.
Obviously Yuki's been at AlphaTauri a long time, and he was going to be Red Bull's next protege. And he's just not... He's not doing shit, but he's not doing well. He's doing
but then we have to also take into consideration that the AlphaTauri isn't a good car. Next year, when it is the RB19... the Wish version of the RB19. We'll see how Yuki goes.
Liam was getting stuff out of that car, and he finished again. He finished higher than Yuki by 1 place. Yuki was just behind him, but still finished higher than Yuki.
But it's still not a good place to finish.
No.
Do you know what I mean? They can and they should be doing better as a Red Bull sister team.
I would hate to be in charge of AlphaTauri this season. There's a lot of tough shit going on.
No. Not for me.
Oh, Daniel. So speaking of people who need to retire.
Yeah.
People are going to get really upset about that.
I think so.
But
never mind.
Wow, what an uneventful weekend, really.
I know. Sorry guys, it's not an exciting podcast this week. We're shattered and we're ill.
I do like that the media this weekend cared more about Oscar on the podium than they did about Red Bull and their 6th Constructors title.
Yeah, because I actually forgot that had even happened, but everyone was like, go Oscar!
Even the broadcast was like, meh.
Because everyone knew it was coming. It's not a shock.
I mean, Red Bull literally had the stuff there ready, their t-shirts and their little flags and stuff.
Yeah.
They knew it was happening, but no, Oscar on the podium. They're so cool about it.
We're very excited for him.
Oscar and Lando were just so sweet with each other and going congrats, mate. I was like, oh, so cute.
They're very cute.
Although they aren't the same person, basically.
Yeah.
They have. If you see pictures of them next to each other at the moment, they are the same.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi guys, that was really thrilling.
Sorry if this is not the episode you were tuning in for today.
To be fair, if you watch the race, this will make sense to you, because if you haven't watched the race, you'll think that we are just not on the energy. But no, this was the energy level of the race.
Yeah, it was not a thrilling.
If you watch the race, you know the vibes.
Yeah.
But I don't know what we're going to know about next week, because we've got a week. Oh god.
Sorry.
Hopefully by next week we won't be ill.
God, we can only hope.
But 2 weeks, Qatar. That'll be a good one.
Yeah, I like Qatar. It's a good track.
Bit of fun.
Yep.
Predictions for Qatar?
This one's so crazy. No one will have ever expected this. A Max win.
I want it to be known, I predicted, not that there was much variation that could have happened, but I predicted the top 3 today correctly.
Perfect. Go you.
Thank you.
Look at that.
I'm getting good at this now. In our fantasy league as well, I'm clinging on to 3rd now.
I'm trying to beat her. I'm literally a couple points behind her.
It took me weeks to figure out a good way of getting Lance Stroll out my team. And I finally replaced him with Alex Albon, finally make my team work. Mm-hmm. And then they both DNF, so that cost me a fair bit of points.
I hate that they deduct, it's the worst.
It's like, oh, cool. So I'm going to cling on to that 3rd place. Next season though, I'm going to win it.
Yeah, and we're actually going to do a Gals on the Pit Wall League next time.
Yeah, get everyone involved. Maybe we'll do some sort of prize.
Oh, that would be fun.
If we can think of something.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm going to win it.
Just don't be so sure.
No, I am. I'm going to have it nailed by next year.
Gosh.
I just keep forgetting to do it, to be honest. But
yeah, I think I've only got 1 chip left anyway.
I've got 1 as well. Holding on to her.
Yep.
For a rainy day.
For sure.
But yeah, next race will be much better.
Yes.
Japan, sorry, you let us down.
I love Suzuka too. I'm actually gutted that I slept through that. But I mean, it wasn't exciting, so I'm really not that gutted actually. But oh well.
Have we got any more 6 a.m. starts?
Yeah, Vegas. We might just have to go out and stay up for Vegas.
Before we go as well, Vegas. Someone's died.
Oh my god, yeah.
Working on the construction for Vegas, because they're basically, the reports are they're really rushing this.
Yeah, the track's not going to be ready for when they need it to be, essentially.
There's just so many issues and no positives currently coming out of it. And like, as someone said, obviously, in theory, cool idea to do it through Vegas and pass all these landmarks. But Vegas is surrounded by desert.
Yeah.
You could have just stuck it in the fucking desert.
Right.
And it's such a shame that someone's died for an F1 race. Like, obviously people die in these jobs a lot. Like, doing construction work is not, like, it's a dangerous thing, but it's insane.
I know.
And I wouldn't be surprised if it flops. Flops would be ends up getting taken off the calendar.
I wouldn't be surprised if it did get taken off the calendar.
It's not even affordable for people to go to.
No.
They're trying to blind people's hotel rooms.
Right.
What if you're there in Vegas, like, even now, you're just there for, like, your holiday?
Yeah.
Or to work, and you're stuck because they've cut off half of it for this race. Or a wedding.
What if you're there for your wedding?
Yeah. Stag do.
Never mind.
Yeah. I don't think it's a... Everyone's excited for it, but I just think it's a stupid idea.
I'm excited to see what the atmosphere's like. It's the atmosphere that I'm excited for. I'm not excited for the track, though, because it's 4 straights. Like, that's boring.
Yeah, I'm not that. I don't feel that enthusiastic about Vegas, to be honest.
Oh, well.
I'll be enthusiastic for Danny Rick to be back, and he could be back for Qatar.
True.
They said that this was going to be this was their goal, basically, was to have him back for Qatar. So... He's
an absolute boss if he does manage to come back.
I think he will be back. I think that's why they've timed his contract extension now as well.
Fingers crossed.
He'll come back on a high and go... Meow.
Well, in order for us to come back on a high this week, we're going to have to go to bed.
Yeah,
It's late.
I've got a 9 a.m. tomorrow.
I have to get up at 6:30.
I hope you're all suffering with us.
Yeah.
I know it's not nice to wish ill upon you all,
but please, because this is taken out of me this race.
It's been a low weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, it was always going to be low from last weekend.
Yeah. Because it was just such an exciting one last weekend. But hey ho, on to the next.
True. I did get my Carlos tattoo.
Oh yeah.
Before we go. You're not going to see it on here. I was going to not tell Jazz about it and then whip it out in the podcast.
I literally would have died. Oh god. I was in such shock when she said it's so cool.
You definitely can't see it on there. But it's a little chili pepper by my ankle, and in the negative space in the shading it says 55.
It's very fun.
I wasn't going to get the 55, but I was convinced by my tattoo artist. Shout out to Hugh. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
That was the most exciting bit of this week.
I think so.
So there you go. Best bit for last.
Yes, well, goodbye.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Night night.
Night night. Follow Instagram, follow TikTok. Follow. Yeah. We have a Twitter. We have a YouTube. We do have a Twitter. Do I do anything on it? No.
Didn't even know we had one.
No one follows it, but if people follow it, maybe I'll start doing things.
Yeah. Go for it. Yeah. I've been working really hard on the Instagram too. So
you've been really popping off.
So get over there, check it out.
Actually do follow the Instagram and then follow the TikTok, because I will get some clips out eventually. Just a busy gal. But the Instagram is popping off. If you're not...
Get over there.
If you're not involved, get involved.
It's an exciting little space I've got going on over there at the moment.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Right, now we're finally signing off.
Yes, we're actually going now.
We're actually going. Good night. Have a good sleep.
Good night.
Anyone, or if you listen to it in the morning, enjoy
Have
your
a good day.
I don't know. I'm losing the plot.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So deserving of a high five this week.
That's a high tap.
Yeah, can't even hear it.